Yo, it's Monday, aka Mo Day. Welcome back to another episode of the JM Show. I'm your host, Jody Mo. I'm a little under the weather today, guys, so you might hear it in my voice, you might hear me sniffing. But we gonna push through, man. The first round is over, guys. It's over. We're in the semis. So now we're gonna do a recap. Okay, so in the first round, we had the Cavs versus Heat. Cavs ended up taking this in four, right? Yeah, kind of expected. I expected the Heat to get one game, but yeah, it was a blowout. That last game was a blowout. The Heat didn't. They was ready to go to Cancun, man. So shout out to the Heat for even making the playoffs again. But yeah, they ain't put up much of a fight in that last game. But yeah. So then we had Boston versus Orlando. Now, as I stated, I barely watched this series. Pardon me, it wasn't a series that I was really that interested in. But Boston took it in five, um, which was expected by most people. So yeah. Then we had the Pacers versus the Bucks. Now that's a series I had going seven. I did have the Pacers winning, but I had going seven. Pacers took it in five, right? And that's crazy because then you had the Giannis versus Halliburton's dad situation, and that was kind of crazy. His dad ended up getting banned, suspended, one of them for the rest of the playoffs, so he can't be courtside to watch his son because that series got really emotional. They was pushing it, and you know you would have thought they contended for a chance to go to the finals the way they was acting like, bro, it's the first round. Calm down. You know what I'm saying? But they was getting to it. But the Pacers took it in five. So Dame got hurt towards Achilles. Shout out to Dame. Wish him the best in that. But that's about a year and a half recovery. So it's probably gonna be a while before we see Dame. I don't even expect him to still be on the Bucks the next time we see him. But his rumors Giannis might not be on the Bucks. So the Bucks got a lot of decisions to make, and losing in the first round is crazy. So they definitely gonna make some changes. They probably end up blowing up the whole team and see what happens. But Pacers taking in five. Give them their credit. Wolves versus the Lakers. Now that's another series I had Lakers in six. The Wolves took this in five, right? And I'll be honest, I was shocked, right? Um, Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, Rudy. Yeah, they put on a masterclass. Now, don't get it twisted. Luka still did his thing. LeBron did his thing. But, they was running out of gas at the end of those games. You know what I mean? And LeBron, obviously, because of age, and Luka, because a lot of people think he's overweight or out of shape. But, I mean, he just looked like Luka to me. So, I don't know what a Luka in shape looks like because he still looked like Luka. You know what I mean? But, yeah, they just run out of gas, man. The Wolves, they're a dominant team. I think they proved that. You know what I mean? Last year they was in the Western Conference Finals, so it's not like a team that has no success. This is a team that's been very successful. They just hasn't hit that mountaintop yet. But yeah, shout out to Ant-Man, man. They beat the Lakers in five. That is crazy, right? So even that team might do some rearranging. They might tell some guys, what I mean, appreciate what you've done for us, but yeah, we got to make some changes. You know what I mean? Because it's definitely Luka team now, and I'm not talking about LeBron. No, LeBron should retire in a Laker jersey, or maybe in a Cavs jersey. It depends on LeBron, but yeah, it's definitely Luka team now, so they got to figure that out. Then we had the New York Knicks versus the Pistons. Now I had the Knicks in six, and they took it in six, right? And shout out to the Pistons because this could have easily went seven. Once again, I was team Pistons on that call. I felt like the ref should have made that call, pardon me. But yeah, they didn't make it. And sometimes in basketball, that's how it goes. In sports, life, that's how it goes. So Pistons ain't got nothing to be ashamed about. They hoop. They did their thing. I definitely didn't have them making the playoffs at the beginning of the year. And pardon me. But yeah, they came to play. And as far as the Knicks go, I felt like they veteran leadership. Jalen Brunson was gonna take over, and it did. Right, Jalen had a nasty move at the end of Game 6, and looking like Kyrie out there. You know what I mean? That was nasty. And then you have the Nuggets versus the Clippers. Nuggets taking it 7. This was a good series. Game 7, I feel like the Clippers, I don't know what happened Game 7. They really didn't. They was in the game, I say, most of the first half. Second half, the Nuggets just separated themselves and made it very clear. Pardon me, we gonna win this series. So, yeah, as far as the Clippers go, I mean, you got Kawhi, you got James Harden, you got Zubac, you got Norman Powell. You have a somewhat of a good team. You really just have 2 superstars carrying a team. But yeah, I mean, if Kawhi stays healthy, James stays healthy. Maybe they bring in, I don't know, maybe like a power forward. So I don't really know what they would need. Maybe don't play the Clippers in the first. I mean, don't play the Nuggets in the first round. But yeah, that's a team that they're gonna go as far as James and Kawhi take them. So maybe bring some youth in, maybe a 6-man. I'll say that, maybe like a 6-man, because Norman ended up starting most of the games. So maybe bring in a 6-man that could, come off that bench and really put some points up. Maybe like a Lou Will, like they had once upon a time, but like a newer version of Lou Will. So yeah, they got to figure it out. But yeah, the Nuggets move on in 7. So shout out to the Nuggets. And then the last game or the last series of the first round was the Warriors versus the Rockets. And this went 7, right? Definitely shout out to the Rockets for that. They ain't got nothing to be ashamed about. Young team definitely came to play. They had game 7 on their court, but, the Warriors are an experienced team. Steph Curry. Buddy Hield had a great game. Jimmy Butler was cool. Draymond kept his composure. So, like, it just became too much for him. And, game 7s are high pressurized games. Like, you got to be almost you almost have to experience it to get ready for it, because this is like win or go home. And that's easy to say, is win or go home. But, when you really in that type of situation, yeah, people get a little tense. So they, they're not hitting open shots. Jalen Green, still a fan of him, but he had a terrible series. So I think this summer probably going to eat him up. Should do it in the right way, where he go back in that gym, find out some new moves, maybe find out how to put his back to the basket or something. Because, yeah, they was locking Jalen up, and that was crazy. But shout out to the Warriors, man. They got it done in 7. So now we move on to the semifinals. We are in the second round of the playoffs. And our first series has already kicked off. We have the Cavs versus the Pacers. Cavs end up Pacers took game 1. Sorry. Pacers take game 1. But I have Cavs in 7 in that series. I would take Cavs in 7. That's a series that, like I said, I think these two teams are very evenly matched. Darius Garland did not play. So if you're the Cavs, you can hold your head on that, okay, we was missing one of our biggest pieces. But yeah, he got to be ready to play, because if he don't, I think the Pacers, they might they might get them out of here in 5. But yeah, I still have the Cavs in 7. I see that being a long series. And then next we have the Boston Celtics versus the New York Knicks in the second round. Now I'm going to go Celtics in, I say 6. I want to say 5, but I say 6. I think New York could squeeze out 2 games. But Boston, like I said, man, that's my championship pick. I don't see none of the teams out the East beating them, for real. Now who they play in the finals is different. It's a different case. But I don't see no team out East beating them. So I got Celtics in 6 in that. Out West, our second round matchup is the Thunder versus the Nuggets. And I'm going to have to go Nuggets in 6. I think the Nuggets experience, their length, Jamal Murray, Jokic. Michael Porter Jr. really didn't have a good series against the Clippers. I think he should turn that around. Russell Westbrook, that energy he bringing. Yeah, I think they beat the Thunder, and I think Russ definitely is going to feel good about beating them. Well, not feel good about it, 'cause I don't think he got nothing against OKC, but it's going to be one of those games where I think he's going to feel good about, beating them. And excited to play, bringing that energy that Russ bring all the time. So I see Nuggets in 6. Now, I will say for Shea, it is very important for him to have a great series because I expect them to announce that he's going to win his MVP soon. And you're playing against the guy who's second or first, second, however you got it. You're playing against the guy who's also up for that award. So I think it would be wise for him to have a great series. That way people ain't saying, hey, man, did you deserve that MVP? You know what I mean? You know how the sports talk happen. So, you know what I mean? I expect Shea to have a good series. And then our last, pardon me, a little under the weather, as I said, y'all. Our last series is the Timberwolves versus the Warriors. This right here is probably going to be my favorite series to watch out of all of them. And I expect this to go 7. And I'll take Warriors in 7. I will take the Warriors in 7. Steph, Jimmy Butler. You know what, man? I don't know. I'm going to stick with the Warriors. But, Ant-Man and Julius Randle, that's going to be a lot too, right? Because now Draymond got to pick his poison. Like, which one of these you going to guard? You can't guard both. You can't guard Julius and Rudy. And Julius, he ain't Cat where you finna just push him around. I feel like if you push Julius, he gonna push your ass back. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that might be a situation Draymond probably don't want to engage in. And I would advise Julius not to either. You know what I mean? But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Ant-Man is gonna be a problem. I think Jimmy is gonna try to do his best on him. But yeah, and then you got McDaniels. So yeah, it's whips over there. But then you got Buddy Hield over here with the Warriors. So ain't no telling, man. But I would have to pick Warriors in 7. Now, I just picked Lakers in 7 against the Wolves, and they handle business. So if Ant turn around and beat LeBron, Luka, then beat Steph, Jimmy, yeah, man. Ant-Man gonna have to start being in these MVP conversations, man. He should have been in them for real, but he didn't have a good year this year. As far as team success, he had a good year individually, but when you talk about the MVP, your team success definitely matters. So maybe he can turn that around next year and get one of those top seeds, maybe 1, 2, 3. And I think his name would definitely be in those MVP contests. Yeah, so that's the series. For right now, that's the second round. We are in the semifinals, y'all. And you know what I mean? The series is coming down. We're going to recap everything that goes on every Monday. Catch me over here. But yeah, hold on. I have NBA award updates. So the Rookie of the Year was announced. The Rookie of the Year is Stephon Castle. He is the Rookie of the Year. Shout out to him. Most improved player is Dyson Daniels. He plays for the Atlanta Hawks. I wasn't really familiar with him. Looked up his stats, and he definitely improved. Didn't watch a lot of the Hawks this year, so I probably wouldn't have, knew too much about who's going to win this award. I actually thought Cade was going to win it, to be honest with you. But yeah, shout out to Dyson Daniels. And then we have 2 new awards, right? We have Drew Holiday winning the Sportsmanship Award, and we have Steph Curry winning the Teammate of the Year Award, right? And these are 2 new awards. So, yeah, I don't really know. Well, let me look it up. What does these awards mean? What's going on here? How you the Teammate of the Year? What does that mean? But yeah, they coming out with a lot of new awards for, the players. Okay, so right here we have the Teammate of the Year award is an award that recognizes the lead's ideal teammate. Selfless play, commitment, and dedication to his team. Okay. Shout out to Steph. I agree with that. Steph definitely is committed to the Warriors. You know what I mean? As he should be. He's going to be retired, jersey retired, number retired, Probably get a statue. No, ain't no problem. He gonna get a statue. So yeah, shout out to Steph. And then we have the NBA Sportsmanship Award, and this is an award of ideal sportsmanship on the court with ethical behavior, fair play, and integrity. Okay, shout out to Drew Holiday, right? He's definitely a coach favorite, right? We all seen when the Phoenix coach told Bradley Beal to act more like Drew. So the coaches clearly love him. Players respect him. And I've never seen him be involved in any dirty nonsense or something on the court. So shout out to Drew, man. Sportsmanship Award is Drew Holiday. So yeah, they still haven't announced a couple awards. I think only the MVP is left. And Coach of the Year, I think that was the only two left. So we update when those drop. But yeah, man, it's been a good season, man. We definitely coming down to the wire. Been some great games, great series. So yeah, man, every Monday, and I'll feel a little better next week. You know, I'm gonna introduce some new content to the channel as well. I'm gonna pick a new day though, right? Because Monday is for sports, aka Mo Day. That's for sports. So I'm gonna pick a new day and introduce some new content. But until then, see y'all next Monday, man. Love.